crafters, do you want to know 3 things that you need to create beautiful cards with stamp, ink, and paper? Well, I'm G from Creative Moments by G, and I'm going to share that with you. Number 1, make sure that you pick a stamp set that will fit any occasion. Number 2, make sure that you select a good quality paper so that when you use your stamp, it really does stamp well on that paper. So you need to use a heavy cardstock. And number 3, choose an ink color that coordinates with the stamp you're going to use. So think about that for just a moment. If it's during Christmas, you'll want to use the colors that are richer in tone, maybe a little darker reds, greens. If you're stamping in spring, you might want to go with some light colored stamp pads. So let's head down to the crafting table and let's create those beautiful cards just using stamp, ink, and paper. We talked about using cardstock that is heavy. You want to make sure that you really pick great cardstock because it has a very smooth feel to it, and we know that it's going to stamp well. Now, I'm going to show you some techniques that hopefully you're really going to like when you just use stamp, ink, and paper. Now, the first stamp sets I'm going to use are Botanical Layers and Perfect Pomegranate. Now you might think, pomegranate? Well, yes, I'm going to use this flower right here. And then in Botanical Layers, I'm just going to use the leaves. And it's going to create a beautiful card. So now for the colors that I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape and Old Olive. The first thing I want to do is lay down a piece of paper because I'm going to be stamping off this card. So we can just grab a piece of paper and I'm going to go ahead and flatten my base card. Now I'm making a top fold card and the measurements for that are 11 by 4 1/4 scored at 5 1/2. And remember, all the measurements and supplies are listed over on our website, creativemomentsbyg.com, my blog. So first I'm going to stamp the leaves. So I'm going to bring in my leaves and my Old Olive. And I'm just going to ink this up. Just tap, tap, tap. We're going to put one leaf right down here in the middle. Oh, look at that beautiful color. Tap, tap, tap. I'm going to move this over just a little bit and come down right here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and stamp right up here. So I'm going to mask this off. And I'm going to do that with a simple sticky note. So let's go ahead and just bring it about right there. Notice how I went past the line just a little bit. I'm going to ink this up. Tap, tap, tap. Bring it down. Now I can just move my leaves to the side. Remove this. And now I'm going to bring in my beautiful flower. And with the flower, I'll be using the Gorgeous Grape. And we're just going to fill in these spots right here. Now, this is a distinctive stamp, and that means you don't want to load it up with too much ink because it takes care of actually the blending for you. It gives you two colors in there, even though you're only stamping with one. So we're just going to very lightly go over that again and stamp right here. Look, I just have to show you that color. Look at how it does the color. So pretty. And now we're going to put one right over here and just stamp it right at the top. Now, look how beautiful that is. So elegant and really pretty, but we are not done. I want to go ahead and bring in our sentiment that we're going to use. And I think we're going to go ahead and use wishes for a beautiful birthday because we can put it right there. Now I'm going to use our old olive. Line it up. And just hold it for good contact. Now look how pretty that is, but we're not done. Now I think we need to go ahead and add just a few little speckles in our card, and we're gonna bring in the gorgeous grape for that. Now I'm gonna stamp off so it's not so dark. And we want to do one final thing to take this card to the next level. We are going to use a fine tip Sharpie pen. Now let me really zoom in. All we're going to do is create a slight border around the edges. Now just watch this. Just kind of go like this. This adds such dimension. Now we're going to go ahead and weave one more line in there. Look at this beautiful card. Such a quick card, but oh my goodness, so elegant, so pretty. Love the border that you can just draw with your pen. It adds so much. But I think you really need to go ahead and just add something on the inside. So let's add a flower and a leaf. That is so pretty. Now look at this. You could make these very quickly for a whole community of your friends, right? You open it up and it's just lovely. But now let's go ahead and take it a step further. So let's put this to the side and let's use another stamp set to create a stamp ink paper. Very similar to this one, but we're just going to add a few more mats. So the next one that we're going to create, we have a top fold cardigan, but this time we are going to add a mat behind this one. So we cut this as a second mat. We're going to stamp it, and we are going to use this beautiful stamp set, Wonderful World. Now remember, you can use any flower that you want, any leaves that you want. You probably have a favorite of yours at home. So just switch them out to whatever is your favorite flower. Now I'm going to stamp the leaves first, and these leaves are from, once again, Botanical Layers. Love that stamp set. And we are going to, I think we'll just go ahead and stick with our gorgeous grape and our old olive. So let's bring in our old olives for our leaves. Let's move that right there. Okay. Let's go ahead and just stamp some right on the side right here. Now these are smaller leaves, so you can actually get more leaves on your card. Okay, and let's just put a leaf coming down from the top. Okay, now we get to bring in our beautiful flower. Now on this particular flower, we have set it off our acrylic block because we are not going to use this. I'm just going to ink up this first flower right here. We're going to use the Gorgeous Grape. Okay, we'll just put one right here. Oh, that is a beautiful color. Now we're going to bring in our sentiment, and this time we're doing a thank you card. And we're going to use our Gorgeous Grape. So tap, tap, tap. And now we are going to just test and see which mat we prefer. Do we want the Gorgeous Grape or do we want the Old Olive? Let's just see which one looks the best. So we have this one. I think it looks nice. Let's try the Gorgeous Grape. The Gorgeous Grape wins. So let's go ahead and lay this mat down on our Gorgeous Grape. And I do like to use paper that I've possibly used before. That's just another great tip. Don't throw that away. You can always stamp on the front of it. And no one will be the wiser because it's going to be glued down. Let us know in a comment below. Have you ever done that? Stamped on one side, didn't quite work out the way you wanted, so you just flip it over? Let us know below this video. And now we're going to add this to the top of our card. Now stay with us because I have 5 other cards to show you using this technique. Just stamp, ink, and paper, and it can make a beautiful card. Now we need to put something on the inside, so let's just put some of those leaves right here. And maybe border it with some flowers. I think that would be pretty. Now, let's do a technique where you actually load up your stamp and then you stamp off to create kind of some definition where one grouping looks behind the other. So let's just tap, tap, tap. Let's stamp off. And then it looks like it's behind your leaf. Let's do it on the other side. Tap, tap, tap. Stamp off. Oh, love that. So here we have another version just using stamp, ink, paper. Made very quickly, but it is so pretty. Now let me show you another version of this card. Look at this one. We used cherry cobbler. And look how pretty that flower is when you use the whole stem. So pretty. You'll need to let us know below, which do you like, the gorgeous grape or the cherry cobbler? Now on this one we didn't have a mat, but remember, we created that very pretty twine border around the card. Really gave it some dimension. We also created this card using a different flower set, using different leaves. We matted it again to really give it some interest. Added a leaf on the inside. We have another flower because we know there are so many flowers out there that you can use to create your cards. And so we just created this one, brought in our leaf again. And finally, we had to do a very springy flower with the colors. We used Mango Melody, Cajun Craze, Just Saying Hello, and just using the stamp ink paper technique. Well, what do you think about that technique? It is so quick, so easy, yet creates such a beautiful, elegant card. Now remember the 3 tips I gave you. Make sure that you select the stamp set that really could be used for any occasion. That way you can make several cards at once. Make sure that you have that good quality cardstock, heavy cardstock, kind of has a nice finish to it that's very smooth and silky. And finally, choose the color that coordinates with your stamp set, whether it be fall, spring, winter, or summer. We would love to see your cards posted on our Facebook page at Creative Moments by G. Remember, check us out on Instagram and Pinterest and sign up for our newsletter. Go out, make it a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.